Aleem, and this is how I made a gun detector using artificial intelligence. Over the pandemic, as everyone knows, there was a huge effect on small business owners, my parents being one of them. Running Pure Pages, a hotel-based internet service provider, they were forced into laying off almost all of their employees. This led my dad to be working late and wearing caps from tech support to server maintenance. Now, unfortunately, on May 15th, during a cigarette break, there was an act of gun violence, and he wasn't lucky enough to make it out alive. This is largely due to the fact that it took over 4 minutes for police to even be called. Now, what if we can turn that down to just milliseconds? This is exactly what I set out to do using artificial intelligence. My program detects a gun and then forwards that detection to 911. Now, of course, I can't send all my tests to them as they wouldn't appreciate it, but it does blink up an LED which can be switched out to an SMS call, and they'll receive it. Now, to show you exactly how I did this, I'll explain the algorithms like YOLO or the language like TensorFlow, and then I'll do a quick overview of the code and how you can do the same in just 15 minutes. Order of business was to get YOLO up and running. This was quite simple by just cloning their original dataset and applying their predetermined classes like dog, bicycle, and truck, as you see in the image. Now, originally I wanted to create a facial recognition software, so I did this by training my own model. I did this alongside the original dataset so I could keep things like potted plants, cell phones, and desks. Then, we have to understand how YOLO works. For in-depth explanation, you can look at Sigil Wen's video, which is in the bio of this video. Or description, sorry. But essentially, it applies grids to the image, and by running it through a CNN or convolutional neural network, it gets the bounding boxes out of this. Just to go a bit more in depth, it essentially takes the input layer, runs it through YOLO, and gets the output. Now, how exactly I did this gun detection wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I assumed I would just have to scan all the images from Google and apply it. But the images on Google really suck. It's either low quality or not even of a modern day handgun. So what I did is I got a BB gun and took my own pictures. I did take a couple from Google, but not as many as I needed. From there, we need to talk to IoT, because of course just knowing a gun is there won't do us any good. So by alerting 911, we can make an impact. I did this by a simple Arduino on an Ethernet module. From there, it's connected to my local network, and I can run a Flask API on it. In the most basic form, it gets the image from a CCTV camera, runs it through YOLO, and then returns the image to us. It will tell us if there's a gun or not, and if there's not, it will repeat the process. It can do this 30 times in just 1 second. However, if there is, this is important information to us. So it will send a local ping over the network to an Arduino. From there, it can either call 911 or, in our case, blink an LED, just as a confirmation, because 911 wouldn't really appreciate all these test calls. To get this up and running in just 15 minutes or less, depending on your internet connection, again, you can check the description of this video and it will have a link to my Google Colab. Just click on the link and you'll be able to download my dataset, but again, it's not as accurate as it can be. I got my images myself and my computer isn't that powerful. Google Colab isn't the best at training it, however, once I do upgrade my computer, it will be all good. So, all you have to do is run all and follow the instructions. You'll then have YOLO on a virtual machine. Now, my next steps for this project is simply to move on. How I can do this is learn more about AI and create a new software, a full-blown computer vision software that can be used in the commercial, hospitality, and hotel industry. I want my software to have the features including gun detection to make an impact on society. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe so you can stay tuned on how I further progress in artificial intelligence.